Hey guys, Andrew Logan here. Great to be with you for another video. And today I want to talk about a few C words. C words that are incredibly important. And these C words are important in any endeavor. If you're on a health kick, if you're on a financial freedom kick, if you're building your network marketing business, relationships, happiness, whatever it is. But obviously we're going to talk about them specifically in the network marketing industry today. But whatever it is, if you can take these three mindsets into your life, these three skill sets essentially into your life, you will have success. Because whatever we do, whatever the goal is, again, if it's health, if it's wealth, if it's freedom, whatever it is, often we can get overwhelmed. And there can be so many things we need to think about. There can be so many things going on in our head, and we can lose the forest for the trees. So every now and then we just need to take that deep breath and step back and look at things and say, you know what? If I focus on these three things, everything else will fall into place. Like everything else will just come together. So I want to talk about those three things today. If you get overwhelmed, if you're feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, probably just getting so caught up in the minor things that you need to go back and just have this big macro look, zoom out a little bit, okay? So let's talk about the first one. So the first C word, and this is important in anything, in relationships especially, but particularly in a network marketing business, is that we need to have communication. As I said, now communication of our vision, communication of our dreams, communication with the team, communication with the leaders, communicating promotions from the company, communicating like what to do, how to share your story, helping people share their story. Communicating all those things with people. And a good friend of mine, Fraser Brooks, he has the saying, communication is leadership and leadership is communication. Being able to share your vision with the team and grow the team. Your leadership is about the clarity of your vision. When you go out and say to people, I found this thing, it's this little brown box that shows up at the door each week or each month or whatever it is, or you go home to your partner, like I did all those years ago, and say, look, I've got this brown box of stuff, but trust me, this is our financial freedom right here. This is it, that clarity of the vision. You need to be able to communicate with that. I've done videos before with my wife, Angie, and we've talked about when you're building a business with a partner, with a spouse, with a family, communication is the number one skill to make sure you're on the same path. Make sure you're working together. Communication is everything. So we have people, and I remember all the time with people, and they'd message every now and then and say, oh, my business isn't growing. And it's like, I haven't heard from you in 6 months. Like, you haven't been to an event, you haven't messaged, you haven't posted in the group, you haven't welcomed anyone, you haven't commented anywhere. Like, their communication was terrible. And we would have to sit there and have that conversation with them. Well, how can you expect to be building a business if you're not communicating with anyone? You're not communicating with us. You're not communicating with the team. You're not part of the culture. Again, another C word, clarity, culture, all these amazing C words. This skill is one of the number one skills. So if they're wondering why their business isn't growing, it's because they weren't communicating. They weren't communicating with me as their upline. They weren't communicating with the mentors that they had. They weren't communicating with their downline and communicating what they wanted to do and where they wanted to be. And that's why goal setting is so important, because goal setting is you communicating your goals, vision out to the universe. When you do that, people will get excited. People will get on board. People will get on board with your vision if you can communicate it clearly and with clarity out to them. Now the second one, rolling on from that, is then consistency. And consistency of your communication. Consistently telling your story. Consistently showing up to events. Consistently posting on your social media. Consistently being in with the team and working with people. And again, consistency is so important in whatever you do. People go on health kicks and they're great from Monday to about 3 p.m. Friday, and then they blow out till Sunday night, and then Monday morning, all right, I'm back again. Yep, back again. Chicken and salad for lunch. You know, whatever it is. And then they get to the end of the year and they're in exactly the same spot. And they say, oh, I did a health kick all year and I didn't lose any weight. And I was like, no, you were healthy for 4.5 days and then you were 2.5 days off. You were incredibly inconsistent. You were consistently inconsistent. across the way. And that's why you didn't lose weight. You took 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back. And it's the same with building business. People can leave an event and be so excited and they're so pumped up and they've got all this energy, and then a few weeks later, they've crashed. They've come out at 10,000% and they're messaging 1,000 people a day and they're doing all these things and they can't keep it up. They can't consistently do that workload and they crash and they go into witness relocation program. Have you ever had a distributor and they're like all gung-ho, they're absolutely keen, they're 100%, they're gonna blow this thing up, and then 3 weeks later you can't find them. They've crashed. And they'll come to you at the end of the year and they'll say, oh, I've been doing this for a year and I haven't gotten anywhere. And say, you know what, you did it for 2 weeks and then you took 6 weeks off. And you did that like 7 or 8 times across a year. So you basically did it for 2 weeks, 7 times. That's not business, that's not leadership, that's not consistency, because consistency breeds reliability. And if we want to be great leaders, people need to rely on us. And consistency of any skill leads to mastery. So if we want to be great network marketers, we have to teach other network marketers. We have to teach skills to other distributors and that come into our team. And so we need to have consistency with our skill set, consistency with our work, consistency of showing up, consistency of our communication. And if we do those things, then people know they can rely on us. We get better, we progress every day. People respect us more because we're showing up every day. A lot of people don't respect our profession, again, because a lot of people come in, they're really excited Monday, Thursday, they're chugging like a Red Bull because they've gone off their diet and they're not talking about this thing anymore. They haven't made $1 million, so they've quit. And people laugh at them, say, oh, and I told you one of those things wouldn't work. It was just because they were so inconsistent, and negative people will hold on to anything negative they can find. So the last one then is adding all this together into the compound effect. Snowball, compound effect, especially financial freedom. Too many times, and especially at the moment, especially with where the world is at the moment, everyone is just looking for that home run. Everyone is looking for that one trade. I bought this one stock, I bought this one coin at this and it went to that. Everyone is looking for that home run. And just enough people will do it for us to think it's possible. We will know about those 1 or 2 stories of that person that bought this at 5 cents and now it's worth $10. And they bet the farm on it and they were right. And there's 1 or 2 people that do that we know about. But financial freedom, building a business, a health kick, great relationships, people who love each other more and more every year, it's a compound effect of small, consistent efforts every day, and then they grow. And they grow and they explode. And we get that exponential growth at the end of the curve. And it takes us 3 to 5 years to become an overnight success, right? But it was 3 to 5 years of consistency. It was 3 to 5 years of communication. It was 3 to 5 years of working hard every day. Muhammad Ali always said it best. I hated all those training sessions, but I love being champion of the world. And everyone was like, how did you become champion of the world? It was like through years of consistent effort while no one was looking. He was recognized under the lights, but he made it in the dark because he was consistent with his efforts. And it will be the same for you. I know when we moved into that, that upper echelon with our company, and everyone was like, oh, you guys, what's the secret? What's the secret? And I'd say to them, quite frankly, look, the secret is the 3, 4, 5 years of work we did while no one was asking us what the secret was. The secret was showing up and doing the phone calls and doing the meetings and doing the trainings for 3, 4, 5 years when no one was really that interested in us. And it sort of grew and it grew and grew, and then a couple of things just fell into place and that compound effect just took off. And we absolutely rocketed and exploded. But everyone was like, oh, okay, what was the secret point here? But the compound effect, that snowball effect, it's about starting with that first flake of snow, starting with that grain of sand, starting with that first step, and then consistently growing, and then eventually that thing gets out of control. And eventually the business is so big that it cannot fail. And eventually things are so well set up, you're so well secure that you cannot stop making $1 million a year. Imagine that, right? think about that and chew on that. Imagine not being able to stop making $1 million a year, but it came from that consistency. It came from growing the thing that it's so big now and it's compounding and it's growing faster than you can keep up. It all starts with that first step. It all starts with that first little bit of a snowball. So guys, very, very simple at the end of the day. Very simple, very clean, but so important. Think every day, what am I communicating? Who am I talking to? Who am I around? Who am I reaching out to? How many messages am I sending out? Am I communicating with my mentor? Am I communicating with my coach? Am I communicating with my team? Am I showing up every day in a way that people can rely on me? Do people know that, you know what, if I sign up with Andrew, he's going to be here in 10 years because he's consistent, he's reliable. If people are going to put their ladder against you, you know, and they're going to say, look, I believe in you, we need to be reliable, and that comes from consistency. And then if we do those things and we do them every day and we just get a little bit better each day, we put a little bit more money away each day, bring a couple more people into the team each week, all those things consistently, and that compounds, you will have all the financial freedom that you've ever wanted. Guys, very, very simple today. I hope that helps. If you got value out of this, please let me know. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. If you want a free copy of my book, The Way Out, the 7 Steps to Financial Freedom Through Network Marketing, just click on the link below there as well, and I'll send you out a copy of that. Otherwise, guys, we'll see you in the next video and we'll talk about more stuff then. See ya.